on up. Joel. Yeah, sure. Joel. Get up here, Joel. Rick, where you at? Come on back. So first of all, we have some very special guests here. We have our girls team, and they have done this meeting so proud, and we're going to get to their recognition and certificates just here in a second. But I'm just going to start by introducing who's here. We have a sergeant with the Sheriff's Department. We have any specific questions regarding public safety, he's going to help out. We have Lisa, that she's in charge of a lot of things within Public Works, and you are assistant director.
Assistant director,
yes. And part of her duties covers trash, and I know a lot of people have questions regarding 218 and 1383 and what's going to happen with that. She's going to be able to help with those questions. We have Nick. Nick is in charge. He's the director of our Animal Services Department, and any questions anybody has regarding those related questions, he can help out. Thank you so much, Nick. I have Karen Sanders. A lot of people know Karen Sanders. She is my wonderful East Kern representative. She's out here every day. She is really my face, daily face of any community. Just like the Sheriff's Department, the sheriff isn't out necessarily every day seeing everybody because he's administrating, and unfortunately that's part of my duties. But he has just honorable representatives like this sergeant in the community every day representing him. Also, Paul Yanez. He's one of my field reps. He covers West Kern primarily. Rick Webb is my brand new, as of Tuesday, appointee to RMAC, so now they do have a quorum.
Oh, just real quick, I want to tell you, the supervisor called, and folks, we have to serve our community. That's the Lord in charge of it. We have to take care of Rosamond first. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And thank you for your service to this community and what you're already doing on the service district.
Yes, sir.
And Joel McKay, and everybody knows Joel for the
James
most part.
Brown, public service.
And he's representing this community, East Kern, and RMAC wonderfully through the years. And he's definitely a plus. And also, Joel has extra duties. He's my relatively new appointee to Keep Kern Beautiful, which is a committee set up to remove trash and graffiti. And Joel and I were out here, and I can go into it in a little more detail later if you want. We were out scouting just really the whole community for graffiti, illegal dumping, any homeless activity that was impinging upon the community. We had some graffiti right around the corner this way that we already had removed quickly, that was on a fence and some other areas. So let's get started. And let's get started with the girls. So thank you so much, team. I'll have a seat. Oh, I forgot one important guy is ducking down here. Michael Herrera. Michael Herrera is my chief of staff. He keeps the office running. If you call, a lot of times, Michael will be the point person to try and get things done. He worked in government for a long time. This is his fourth elected person that he has served. He was the area director of Jeff Flores' office, who's the supervisor for District 3, and I'm happy to have him. He's smart as a whip. We just got back about midnight last night from D.C., Washington, D.C. We were there with a delegation from the area of Taft, helping to represent the oil industry. Love or hate oil, the fact is that it's a very significant part of the county budget, and we have to try and support that industry any way we can to provide services like animal services and public safety and fixing our roads and everything else that goes along with being a county. So, with that, could I have all the girls line up right up here, please, on the basketball team? Give them notes. And they're all right. Can you do the names? Okay. So I just want to talk a little bit about their achievements. So the Rosamond High School girls basketball team, in recognition of your outstanding accomplishments, during the 2024 and 2025 season. And here's a list of those accomplishments. Overall record, 29-8, which is just unbelievable. Central California High Desert champions with a record of 12-2. Division 5 Southern California champions, CIF state championship runners-up. And your dedication and hard work is just an example, or sets the example for this community and other communities of what young women can do and all the great achievements that you have achieved and I'm sure will achieve in the future. Can we have a round of applause for you? Coach has to be recognized too, because nothing can happen without a leader, and I'm sure you're a great one. Okay, 2 coaches.
That's not a killer.
So thanks to the coach too. So if you might help me out a little bit, since you know the girls, and we'll pass these recognitions out.
Abigail Spargosa.
Abigail?
So you want her to come up?
Yeah, come on up and. We'll shake with this hand, and we're going to look at anybody going to take a picture. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Korea.
Hold on, sorry.
Thank you. Congratulations. Great job.
Emily Barrera.
Emily?
Not me. Oh, wait, Emily. I'm sorry. Go
Okay,
back.
yeah.
Sorry, you got it. All right.
Your time. Kylie Perez.
Our only senior. Thank you. Great job.
Karen Jorgensen.
Thank you.
Justin Armstrong.
Another round of applause. One more. We can't forget the other. What's her name?
Amanda.
Coach. Thank you. I'm going to first picture. Okay, we have Alex.
We have 3 players that aren't here. Ariel Kane,
Okay.
Nadia Valadez, and who's the other one? Oh, yeah, Priscilla.
And we want to recognize them in their absence for their wonderful achievements too. It takes a team, and they're a part of the team. You ready?
Yeah.
Stay right here first.
Yeah. Blue phone.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
One more.
Thank you.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, I'm going to sit down for a second. I'm just going to go over some of the community projects that are happened and are still happening. And when we get to the Sheriff's Department, what's going on with the temporary substation and what's gonna happen in the future with the new substation, we'll bring the sergeant up and have a little conversation about that. You good with that, Sergeant? Thank you. So if you haven't gotten one of the handouts, or if you want any, information you want to look at, there's a bunch of information over there. I put out my 100-day newsletter recently about all the accomplishments, not only here, East Current, but throughout District 2. I also have a QR code. You can go to that. There's plenty of information regarding that. And Michael, that takes you to the 100-day newsletter too?
Yeah, it should take you to the website.
The website? Okay, and also, we'd love to get your information too, so we can keep you abreast of future things also. So my East Current priorities. Public safety improvements, the Rosamond Sheriff's Substation, the temporary one just recently opened, providing really excellent services back within this community. Animal service improvements, economic development, road improvements, and code compliance. So current improvements that are underway or are underway. Raised medians and lighting improvements at 2 intersections, Business Route 58 and Meyer Road, Mojave Boulevard at Eagle Way in Rosamond. Both of those were completed January 13th, 2025. Countywide striping improvements on multiple lane roads, almost a $2 million project, upgraded striping of center line, edge lines, left turns, and lane drops on 3 roads in District 2, Laval Road, Wheeler Ridge Road, and Rosamond Boulevard. They were completed February 18th of this year. California City and State Route 58 intersection, which is around 140th. That's a big concern. It's the road that leads into Edwards Air Force Base. A lot of traffic accidents. Unfortunately, there's been some fatalities out there too. Currently working on a project. We have secured about $2.5 million through COG, which is Current Council of Governments. We're working on the remainder of it. We have a vote coming up with AVAC, which is the water agency that has some adjacent property next to the road, and it would simplify things as far as those improvements if they allow us access, and I believe they will. And if that all comes into place, then we should have at some point a new safer road coming in the future. So East Kern, road improvements continued. Would be Rosamond Boulevard rehabilitation, funded by Regional Surface Transportation Program funds. This is a little over $2 million. Rosamond Boulevard from State Route 14 to Union Pacific Railroad. It's in 60% design plans in progress, construction planned in 2026. Rosamond Media Safety Project, funded by a Regional Surface Transportation Program. Project recommended for funding at about $2 million. Medians and road rehab from State Route 14 to Sierra Highway. Construction scheduled in fiscal year 25 and 26 to be built in the spring of 27. State Route 14 widening from Purdy Avenue, funded by Waste Fund. Widening of State Route 14 to accommodate new lane and acceleration lane as condition for Mojave Landfill Regional Expansion Project, 30% in design process. And if you don't know what that means, basically it's being designed at this point as we go forward. Construction scheduled later for 2025, 40th Street West Road reconstruction, estimated cost at about $1.5 million, funded by local road fund, road construction from Holiday Avenue to Rosamond Boulevard. It's 60% in design in progress. Construction scheduled for 2026, 20th Street from Sonia Drive to Orange Street, funded by American Rescue Plan Act. Estimated cost $1 million. Pedestrian path improvements went to bid November 20th, 2024. Construction scheduled for later 2025. Rosamond, and this is regarding park and library. Rosamond Park Skate Park, $1.1 million funded by Renew Biz And renew biz is when different companies do construction, they're required to pay a certain fee, and that goes into a pot, part of the renew biz monies. That has been completed. Rosamond Park restroom, $862,000, funded by American Rescue Plan Act, anticipated completion of July of this year. Rosamond Community Building, about $800,000, funded by Renew Biz, anticipated completion October 2025. Rosamond Ball Field, I was hoping to have this redone for this season, unfortunately not. But it is in the process, it's out the bid, we are working to get this done as soon as possible, and more details to come, but I anticipate that this is going to be ready for next season, and I'm sure going to push for that. Rosamond Library, a little over $1 million, funded by Building Forward Grant Program. It's going to be closed for a while, but it's going to be open in 2025, September of 2025, and it's really going to be a beautiful facility. I talked to the contractor regarding, hey, can you do it a phased way, you know, to be able to have it open during it? And he said they tried it in other areas, and especially with flooring, kind of turns into a mess. And they had to redo some stuff at some other libraries when they tried to just do a phased approach. So unfortunately for that period, it has to be closed, but in the end, you're going to have a beautiful library. So the Sheriff's Department. The temporary sheriff's station is currently open and operational. Substation will be located, the new substation will be located in Rosamond, adjacent to the existing fire station. And it's going to be a single story building, about 5,400 square feet. And I made a request to expand that or put a second floor on it to make it about 11,000 square feet for other county services. Right before I left to come up here, I had a meeting with somebody in the county administrative office talking about this. And they are looking in the future to potentially just build a standalone auxiliary services of other county services besides the Sheriff's Department. If you look at the parcel behind the fire station where the Sheriff's Department is going to go, it's a nice property, it's a decent property, but we don't want to over impact it with other facilities because that parcel just isn't necessarily that big. So we're looking at acquiring other parcels to be able to do other county services going forward. And I said, hey, is that going to happen in my lifetime or my term? You know, eventually it gets 6 years, I guess. But and they said, yeah, that would happen within that time. Not my lifetime, the other time. That's estimated with the current footprint of a little over 5,000 square feet to be an $8 million project. Anticipated construction for the new facility, April 2026. Anticipated completion, March of 2027. And information is over there. So how to report a problem, what tools can you use? There's My Current app. I suggest you download it. It's just a simple app. You can go and report things from potholes, the other stuff. It's an easy way from a smartphone just to report problems. You can call my office. There's information over there how to get a hold of me. A county website. And Michael, can you just explain a little bit how they navigate that?
Yeah, so the county website is currentcounty.com. There's a series of options that are pretty much at the center and top of the screen. When you hover over those, you'll pretty much get drop-down menus, and according to what it is exactly that you're looking for, you'll be able to navigate and find that. I would say that the most frequent area that community members usually navigate to on the website is the How Do I section. If you do that, it kind of allows you to steer to exactly report an issue, kind of really navigate to a separate page that's department specific depending on the subject matter that you're wanting to cover.
So I've been in the community a lot, from, I mentioned, the graffiti and being out here for code compliance stuff. I've been out here multiple times for East Kern Economic Alliance meetings to try and bring new businesses out. Right after, well, it was right around Christmas at the Air and Spaceport for Toys for Tots for CHP. Working with HydroStore, which is an energy plant coming here, close to $1 billion project to bring jobs. Pacific Steel, we just did a groundbreaking within Mojave. Well, it's actually between Mojave and Rosamond. And that's going to provide about 500 construction jobs, 400 permanent good paying jobs. It's the first steel plant built in California in the last 50 years. They're going to make seismic grade rebar to help rebuild California and its infrastructure. And we're looking at just a host of different ways to support East Kern. And Sergeant, can I have you come up just for a sec? And if you just talk a little bit about the new substation, the services that opened, and go from there.
Good afternoon, my name is Sean Maljoy. I'm the most recent sergeant here in Rosamond. We have been without a substation for several years now. We just kind of opened our temporary one this last Saturday. I've got a fair amount of deputies. I'm expecting a lot more. Our staffing is going to almost double here in the next probably 3 to 6 months. So I'm looking forward to cleaning up a lot of stuff. I started my career out here in 2007. I also raised a family out here for a while before moving away. So I have and my mother-in-law actually lives here, so I've got a vested interest in kind of protecting this community. So I'm looking forward to having our fully serviceable substation open soon. Right now it's just for deputies and not open for the public because we don't have, the infrastructure is not ready yet. We don't have the phone lines, we don't have some internet capabilities, so we're just waiting for that stuff to come in. And then it'll be open for the public like Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 to help file reports, for us to answer your questions, anything of that sort.
And what's the address?
Yeah, it's good. 2978 Diamond Street.
Or what's
Yep.
it, Cross Streets?
Yeah, it's Diamond and Rosamond Boulevard. I believe it's 2978 Diamond Street. It's right across the street from the tire store. We're working on getting more signage up to make it more readily identifiable, but we're just waiting on some funding for that stuff. So,
And even though it's not necessarily public access, you're open 24 hours a day as far as deputies responding?
for calls for service, yes, we have 24/7 staffing here in Rosamond now. We didn't for a long time, but we do currently now. The response time still might take a while because we're only running a handful of deputies per shift, but it is going to get better over time.
How many deputies are assigned there now?
On paper, I've got about 16, including my 2 senior deputies and myself, but some people aren't out here yet. I think I've probably got 9, 10 out here right now, but I'm waiting for some to get out here. They got to pass field training first, and that could take 6 months sometimes to do. So. Any other questions? Thank you, I'm happy to be here, I truly am.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Nick?
Evening, folks. Like Supervisor Parlier said, my name is Nick Cullen. I'm the director of the county's Animal Services Agency. For those of you who've been around for a bit, you haven't had access to shelter services because the Mojave shelter closed in June of 2020. So odds are you're probably not going to interact with too much of the shelter services right now. But there is a ton of literature on the table right here about programs and resources that we offer for pet owners. So please help yourself. Most of you are probably going to be more interacting with our field officers. You know, when there's a loose dog or an aggressive dog or an injured animal or something like that, you're going to call dispatch for animal services, and we're going to dispatch an officer out in the area. Animal services, we have 11 animal control officers for the entire county. Just to give you an idea, the county of Kern is approximately the same size as the state of New Jersey. And so for us to try to get out to remote areas on any given day is challenging. We have 11 animal control officers, however, on any given day it's about 5 or 6 on duty for the entire county. So we do our best to respond to calls based on a priority level. And so on a good day, and I do stress on a good day, we'll have an officer who's assigned to East Kern. So they're covering Tehachapi, Rosamond, Mojave, Edwards, Boron, the entire area. And oftentimes we're assisting on the base as well. So the officer, when we do have one assigned out here, they are busy. So, you know, we try to ask patients if you contact us about something. If it's a priority, like there's an aggressive animal or something that's been injured, gravely injured, that bumps up on the priority and we usually get an officer out right away. Joel got a hold of me seconds before the meeting started because one of the biggest things we were interested in right now in animal services is trying to deliver pet owner resources to the community, specifically spay and neuter. Our animal population, not just in Kern County, really nationwide, has exploded since the pandemic. There's a lot of reasons for that. And so what we're trying to do is deliver as much responsible pet ownership resources as we possibly can. And so spay neuter is a big part of that. The county board has committed a considerable amount of money to a spay neuter program, over $1 million in funding just this fiscal year. And so what that means is that we're all throughout the county with spay neuter clinics. So Joel asked me if we could do a Rosamond specific clinic. Yes. I'm gonna, and actually I've been working with Chris's team because I have 3 dates in May that I could probably shift out here. The biggest, most important thing for us is because we want to be good stewards of the taxpayer dollars. Those clinics, they're mobile clinics where you can bring your pet. You got to sign up in advance. Bring your pet, and they'll spay and neuter your pet in a mobile setting. It costs $10,000 every time we bring them out. And so we always want to make sure that that is a full clinic that's booked fully, so we're not wasting any appointments. So when we put that together, I'll make sure I communicate with the RMAC and Chris's team so that you're all aware of it, and we can make sure that that clinic is full. And then I would just express, like, I have a pretty good relationship with the RMAC, and I'm sure Chris's team will get a hold of me if need be. If there continues to be a developing need for resources, vaccination clinics, spay and neuter clinics, work through the district office, work through the advisory committee, and I'll do my best to bring those resources out here.
And Nick does a great job, and his team does a great job with the limited resources that they have, and we try and support them any way that we can. Excuse me. Nick, could you talk about, let's say there's a deceased dog in a roadway, how do they navigate that?
Yeah, so deceased dogs, assuming if it's not in the middle of the freeway, we don't do middle of the freeway, that's usually Caltrans. But if there's a deceased dog, you can notify our office. Our dispatch is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. After hours, it's on an emergency basis only, so it's like aggressive dogs, law enforcement assists, or something that's gravely injured. But a deceased animal, it's gonna be Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. You're gonna contact our dispatch. You can go to our website, KernCountyAnimalServices.org. You could submit a complaint online. You could submit a complaint by phone, and we'll dispatch an officer out to come and retrieve the animal.
Thanks, Nick.
Any questions?
One question back.
I do have a question for you. When you do start the spay and neuter clinic here in Rosamond, are you going to require them to show ID so that it is the Rosamond resident or Kern County only residents and not individuals that are coming from Lancaster and Palmdale to get the greater discounted services?
Yes and no. Yes, they have to produce ID, but we only accept offer services to county residents, but we don't restrict it to just Rosamond.
Okay.
So if there's somebody from a nearby community, we'll allow them to sign their pet up.
Will you put the advertisement for it on the Kern County app? Where are we gonna, cause I have people that I know that, I mean, yeah.
So there's a few ways. I would ask, I'm not social media active, maybe you guys are. Follow us on social media, Kern County Animal Services. We're on every possible social media app that's available. Even TikTok, which I don't entirely understand, but we're on it. We post a lot of information on social media about upcoming clinics and our website, KernCountyAnimalServices.org. There's a specific website, KernCountyAnimalServices.org/spay-neuter, one word. You can go right there. I made it real easy. There's a big button. As soon as you go to that website, click that button to sign up for any clinic that we have upcoming. They fill up quick, but we will advertise on our social media. We'll advertise on our website. I'll get a hold of Chris's office. Maybe we can have something up on the district website, and then I'll work through the Rosamond Municipal Advisory.
And so when you said that anybody from Kern County could come here for their spay and neuter, that means that if it's in another community, we can sign up for it.
Absolutely, yes. Every clinic that we offer, that's why I was saying, you can go to that website and you can sign up for a clinic regardless of where it is, because it's a county clinic. It's only for county residents, not for any other jurisdiction. You're welcome to sign up at any clinic. We have an upcoming clinic in Boron. We did one in 2 in Mojave this year, and there's some in the Kern River Valley, and goodness knows there's a lot in the Bakersfield area as well.
Okay, thank you.
One more in the back.
Yeah, just me again. A lot of individuals here in Rosamond do not have access and do not use social media. So outreaching via social media may be a challenge.
I tell you what, we'll also do an ad in the paper out here too.
Or flyers that, you know how individuals, when we get the paper flyers, the coupons and this, that, and the other, you know, kind of like a bulk mailing type thing, is that something that would be within your budget to do?
I was just gonna say, gonna have to look at expense. Obviously, social media, cheapest, paper.
We're actually, I'm with the Rosamond News, we're actually gonna have a mass mailing in May.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So that would go to every resident in Mojave and Rosamond, so that would be good.
Okay,
We
well,
have
I'm gonna have Michael connect with you afterwards, and we'll find out how to do that.
And we probably need to figure out how to do that quickly because we're looking at May dates.
Yeah.
Probably about a month out.
Yeah.
But I'll work through Michael and we'll figure out a way to get. And usually when we do these clinics, depending on the size of the clinic, they'll fix anywhere from 30 to 60 animals total, dogs and cats. There's certain types of dogs that they can't fix on a mobile clinic because it's risking the animal's life. Anything that's older than 7 years old, that recently had a litter, any pre-existing conditions. But for the most part, it's a pretty big clinic and they can fix a lot of animals. But if the need is great, then those appointments are gonna fill up fast.
Rick?
Okay, real quick, if you could get in touch with Sherry, she's the Director of Administration at the Water District, RCSD. She can probably assist you folks. We do a monthly newsletter there. When you folks lock in a date, you get the information out.
Sure thing, absolutely.
Then Michael will connect too, and,
I'll connect with you after and yeah.
any other questions for Nick? Thanks, Nick. Lisa? Welcome to the hot seat. So Lisa is our expert when it comes to trash and 218 and 1383. So if you have any questions regarding that and what's gonna happen with that, Lisa should be able to help navigate it.
Yeah, and it's actually everything related to waste. It's not just 1383 because that actually affects everybody, but it's the landfills. So the Mojave landfill, you probably will notice we're in the middle of a regional expansion of that landfill. So the road that Supervisor Parlier mentioned, we're putting in that lane to make it easier to get in and out of that. And it'll take us time to do that. So we do all the landfills. There's diversion areas at the landfills for helping you with recycling if you're taking your trash to that landfill. It's trash hauling. So some of you may be hauling your trash yourself. Some of you may be using the services of waste management. Some of you may be in a mandatory universal collection area, and some of you may be in a mandated census tract that we have to have additional hauling to get rid of the organics out of the landfill, and that's the SB 1383. So we deal with all those issues. Some of you will see the fee on your tax roll already, because I know some of you are already in, I don't know if in this audience, but some of you are already in an existing universal collection area. So to see that on your tax bill already, it probably says Eastern Kern. I'm not 100% positive what it says now. You also see on your tax bill the land use fee. When you see a land use fee on your tax bill, that's actually for the use of the facility. So that's the landfill in Mojave Rosamond landfill. It also covers our special waste facility. So if you have any household hazardous waste, we deal with that also. We have temporary collection events. Denise, how often are they over here?
We have the Mojave facility out here, so we're open 6 times a year.
6 times a year, and that is where you can take all your household hazardous waste. We also handle illegal dumping throughout the county. So if you use that My Kern app that the supervisor was mentioning, it's a great way. Just when you see some illegal dumping, we deal with the stuff that's on the public rights of way or on county property. So if you ever see something on the side of the road, if you get that app, you can just take a picture of it and you get it right into our system. The minute you take that picture and enter it in, it goes right into our system so that we can come out and take care of it for you. We also deal with anything where you see homeless encampments on the public rights of way or on county property. So if ever you see an encampment, you can contact us about those also, because we also work on cleaning those particular problems that related to homeless people that are camped down in places where they shouldn't be. So we actually have a lot of different issues related to waste. So does anyone have any specific questions on any of those?
Lisa,
Yeah, Joel.
have you guys done a study yet? I know Mojave is self-haul and Isabella is self-haul, where they gotta take an organic set down. Have you seen an increase in illegal dumping in those areas that now that people are having to self-haul that stuff?
We actually haven't, we're gonna start that basically May 1st, is that right,
Okay.
Denise? We're starting self-haul May 1st.
Okay,
We don't really have a whole lot of issues right now in Kern Valley with any of the illegal dumping, and hopefully we won't. But you never know. But that will start up in May 1, and they're gonna be distributing the kitchen pails and the compost bins here within the next month or so. So hopefully we won't. Yes, ma'am.
Who do we report illegal dumping that's not on county property?
You can also report that on that same app. It's just a different group that will handle it. That will take care of it. But yeah, if it's on private property, it's actually code compliance, and they'll actually respond to that same. If you go to My Kern, that little app, and you put that on your phone, it's really a lifesaver because it really makes it so easy to get it in there. But they will take care of that also. Code compliance handles those. And if there's something really big, you see some big, huge mess that's just kind of out on desert property in the middle of nowhere or something, then let us know and we'll see what we can do to find out some way to help clean that up. If we can't find some sort of grant or something like that to help with those. Yes, ma'am.
Is that app GPS?
Yes, it uses GPS. It tells us exactly where the illegal dumping is, which really helps because a lot of times people will take a picture and they'll say, oh, it's out on the highway, you know, past the cow, and turn left, you know. But that really helps us pinpoint where they are. So yeah, please definitely make use of it. Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Well, I think we're just about done. Anybody have any questions for me? We covered quite a bit, or follow up for any county staff?
I do. So, is Rosamond on any type of schedule for street cleaning, specifically gutters? You know, going down Rosamond Boulevard, there's a lot of debris in the gutter area.
Well, I'm gonna bring Lisa back for this one.
That's our roads department, which is also part of public works.
And Lisa's part of public works too.
Yeah. That would be our roads department is doing that. I don't know if they have a schedule, but we can find out. So if you want to just send an email, if you send it to me, and if you can get it to me really easy by typing waste, WASTE at kerncounty.com. My staff answers that, and we can get that to the right person for you. Follow up is if there's some kind of schedule for that on the street sweeping.
Rick?
Yeah, two things. First of all, thank you for coming out here.
You're welcome.
The street sweeping, the reason it's problematic for us in the residential area, you never know when they're coming. So what you wind up, you hear it at the corner, you make a sprint out to your car, you have more than one vehicle to move them. And then a lot of times they do dry sweeping. I know that may be a procedural thing, but it'd be kind of nice if we had continuity. They just said, you know, the first week of, which we literally I never know. And that's part one. Then part number two, a lot of the common areas, I don't know who's responsible for that, but ours are atrocious because these folks come out here and I'm not criticizing because I don't know what the contract said they should do.
Mm-hmm.
But I know what clean looks like.
Right.
They're not clean. Part one. And part number two, you don't blow the debris in the middle of the street to let it blow back to the curb. Now, if it was in residential with grass area, and you said we're leaving it, no, the grass to break down is understood, but so maybe whoever's responsible for that, I don't mind asking the question to them because I don't want to be criticizing something I don't fully understand.
Mm-hmm.
But these two things, the street sweepers, literally you hear them coming, and then you go and say, oh boy, they're coming, and then if you don't move your car, then their house doesn't get swept either, so you have like 6 spots that don't get swept. Number one,
Right.
dust comes when it comes, clogs up the sewer system, and then the common areas, they look atrocious. Then again, I don't know what the contract said they should not be doing, but if we could get someone that I could ask the questions of, and maybe they'll explain it out to me, it'll make more sense. But those two things now, because part of your community looking nice, it's the simple things. You know, the streets being swept in the common areas looking decent. And I know we've had the sweepers were on schedule kind of before.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I don't know what you hear them coming down the street, you pass one, you know, they
There's no
couldn't.
set schedule now. You can't seem to get.
Here's a set schedule. When they're there, they're on schedule.
Okay.
And then the other part with the common areas, again, a lot of foliage is
You guys
coming
are
up.
taking notes on that for us. So we'll get just make sure we get your contact information and we'll find out for you. And we'll
Yeah, I appreciate it, whatever we can do. That way I don't have to call Chris up.
Okay.
Stick around, Lisa. I got a feeling we're
Yeah, I have one more question in regards to our communal post boxes, our mailboxes. A sitting under no lights at the middle of the night, and those post boxes are getting broken into. Now, those communal boxes are not the property of the United States Postal Service, but the contractors that build the tract housing that goes around. Who would we contact in regards to having secure lighting at nights, like we do here at Hall Hall, they come on, this, that, and the other? Who would we contact, and who would be responsible for lighting those areas?
That's gonna be Public Works also. We handle lighting in different areas also, and I don't know how they pay for it here. Excuse me, but in a lot of places it comes on your taxes, and you pay a certain amount on your taxes. But once again, if you give me your contact information, we can follow up on that for you.
And there's new technology now with solar lighting and stuff, and maybe we can look at ways to potentially pay for that.
Yes.
So up on, I live up United,
Excuse me.
the street up there,
Mhm.
and since they're not doing the maintenance on the bushes and stuff, it's all dying, and it's gonna become a fire hazard, because it's all dead brush up there, on the, right by the sidewalk. So is that Public Works also?
It would be Public Works also, yeah. That's our roads department once again. So they should be keeping that up, but give me your contact and we'll follow up on that for you.
And if she could take a picture or something?
Oh, absolutely,
Okay.
great idea. You take a picture on that My Current app, and if you don't use that My Current app, you can take a picture and you can, once again, if you email it to me, once again at waste, waste@kerncounty.com, I will get it to the right people.
Lisa, I can attest, about 2 weeks ago, I texted Karen, 6 o'clock at night, I had some illegal dumping up at my house. It was down a communal road on a dirt road, took a picture, by 11 o'clock that day, the case was closed, trash picked up, you can even tell there was any trash there. I mean, it works, the My Current app works.
That's good, yeah, that's good to hear, good to hear.
Anyone else? Well, thank you so much. It's great being out here in Rosamond again. And, hold on, one more.
No, I'm giving
Oh,
you
give it a thumbs up, okay.
Thank you.
I did have a question as far as